friendos. This is Elena from Dice Drop Evolution. We are here to warn you that in this episode of the Astoria Cybernetic Medical Technology Facilities, that there might be some trigger warnings such as visual imagery of body horror, child abuse, child harm, mature situations, and violent acts of aggression. Please listen with caution and please enjoy the show.
Hi, everybody. It's your favorite girl, Elena, here to play your favorite water witch, Remi.
Hi, guys. My name is Kyle. I play Oswald.
Hi, I'm Allie. I play River, and I will also be your game goddess. Let's get this show started. The scene enters at... It kind of is overlooking the top of Lancaster Manor, and then it does that fun cinematic thing where it whooshes down into the living room of the Lancaster Manor, where it's where you guys basically left off, where everyone is just staring at Rodney, who has now brought in a tied-up Hood in the in the living room, and Hood's just like glaring at Rodney. Meanwhile, Rodney's just staring at all of you and has his like hands just crossed in front of him, and he's just totally ignoring Hood. And Hood's strong, but Rodney knows a few knots. Few tricks, so he's a little stuck in there, and he's just like, so we found River?
Yeah, we pretty much located River.
Okay, cool. So when are we going? We're going tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, well, Rodney's like, okay, we're bringing Bro over here to help find her. And he goes, I'm not her brother, dude! What the hell? I'm not her brother!
Is there like a document that I found that like in that pile of documents, is there one that I found that like proves that they're related?
So there was the video of little River and little Hood or Joy and Robin, where he's like looking over her bruises and he's getting angry and angrier, but like you couldn't save that video. So you do have that information stored in your little Oswald brain.
Don't we have her document that states?
Yeah, no, actually you do have her document that states that Robin Eugene Hadley is her brother, and it's like a paper document from Astoria that you got.
Yeah, I'm assuming we've made copies of that to like hand out to everybody, so like
you have to like show it to him because he is tied up and
that's what I do. I like hold it in front of him for him to read. Like, this is an official document from the people who basically like unfortunately raised River.
Robin Hood, sorry, I'm so used to doing their real names now. Hood, like, squints his eyes at the document. You can clearly tell he's reading line by line, and he stops where it says, like, siblings, and it says Robin Eugene Hadley rather than Robin Eugene Masters, and he goes, I mean, there's a lot of people with that name. Like, how do we know it's me, right? I mean, it could be anybody. At this point, Rodney...
I saw a video of you two when you were children.
Rodney's just like looking down at Hood and... Oh, yay, I have all their dice lined up. Alright, he kicks him and it's pretty hard. He kicks him for like a 15 plus whatever his fighting was, which I don't have his character sheet up because I hate myself. Let's do character sheet. Alright, so his fighting is a +8. So it was a 15 +8. So he hurt him pretty well. And let's check out Hood's toughness real fast. See if he got an injury from that. Hood got an injury from that. That did not feel good. So, you could very much tell that Rodney just very, very badly bruised and hurt one of his best friends. He's just like, shut the fuck up, dude. She's obviously your sister. They found paperwork. What is up with you? And he just goes, oh, God. Everything just got so complicated. And he rolls onto the floor and is just like face down onto the carpet and is just sort of like staying there. Not saying anything. I want to make it clear he hasn't looked at Remi the entire time. The only person he's really like looked at and talked to fully was Oswald and Rodney. He hasn't even like talked to anybody else. He hasn't acknowledged Data because he left before Data was even found. He's very much in his own head right now.
What a hoe.
So what would you guys like to do?
Remi would like to completely ignore him and then just turn back to like the rest of the group and say, so what do we need to do in order to get ready to go get River? Like, what do we need?
So Zach immediately is like looking at the computer and then like going through everything like that you guys have, and he's like, well, I'm going no matter what. I don't care what anyone says, I'm going. And Rodney just sort of looks at Zach, and Zach just sort of looks at Rodney, and they just sort of stare at each other for a second, and then Zach totally dismisses Rodney, and he goes, I think we are going to need all the weapons, just all of them. I don't care what. I will drive in one of our bigger speeders. From what I can tell, I know I'm going personally, and from what I can tell, I guess these two are going. I know you two are going. Is anyone else planning on going to help us? And at that point, you can pick whoever you want. You have your choice of Data, you have your choice of Shade, you have your choice of Celeste. You could even bring Professor Lancaster if you so choose. Who Professor Lancaster, by the way, is sitting in the back of the room. There's not sitting, like standing in the back of the room, just sort of like watching all of this go down.
Okay.
He's being very quiet.
And you've said before, Ellie, right, that it's okay for us to bring Data because now Data is no longer squishy.
Yes, Data has a little bit more bulk to him.
He's now big boy. He finally hit puberty.
Yeah, so he does have abs now. He is a little bit more buff. His abs aren't as defined as they were in the Dreamscape because, you know, he was sleeping, but he definitely does not look like he did at the beginning of this campaign. He looks like a brand new person with similar facial structure.
Okay.
He does have the same mannerisms as he used to, because that's like not going to change or anything. But he definitely does have more of a fighting skill. He is technically a healer, and he's very smart and can hack into things.
Right, yeah, and it's not like you know, Astoria really wants him anymore.
Yeah, Astoria is like, Astoria has his Data. Astoria can make weapons with his Data. Astoria can do whatever she wants with his actual like DNA.
Yeah, I was like thinking like, since we didn't have River, like obviously we needed some form of a healer, and like no one else that we know of has healing powers. So I was thinking we could bring in Data.
Okay.
And I'm writing down who we're bringing in. And I'm writing down their importance. So healer. Obviously we gotta bring Zach. Like,
yeah, Zach's already going.
Yeah, I was about to say Zach's like, is it ZACK?
Like, if you tell Zach that he cannot go, he will ignore you and go anyways.
And how do we spell Zach's name?
ZACK, the original spelling, not when people decided that in like the early 2000s that ZAC was an actual thing.
Well, I was thinking ZAK, ZA.
Yeah, it's a ZACK.
Like I was thinking all sorts of spellings. And he's got lightning power, so
yeah, he has electricity powers.
So fighter. Dash sparky sparky boom. Sparky boy. Do we know that Astoria knows that Celeste is with us?
From what you can tell, you have not asked personally from Celeste. If you want to ask her if Astoria knows that she's not on a sabbatical, you can.
Well, like, Astoria's also never, like, given anything to, like, say that, like, she knows. So, like, she told us before, like, she was very transparent about the whole, like, I told them that I was gonna take, like, a vacation, and then we were just like, oh, okay, I don't know how she believed that, but cool.
Well, yeah, so, you can ask Celeste personally. She will pretty much answer all of your questions. You guys just haven't asked her.
Okay. Well, she's with us in the long haul. Might as well. Oswald, do you want to take... Kyle, do you want to take Celeste?
Yeah, sure.
Because I know this is going to be, like, a huge fight, and I feel like we should take everybody that we physically can.
I believe
can I
it is
do a perception check to see, like, if I notice anything with Shade?
Yeah, of course.
I almost clicked on the button to roll that. Old habits die hard. Oh, that's a nat 20.
Jesus
Plus
Christ.
my 14 perception, so 34.
So, right now, Shade kind of has one arm, like, around her protectively, and the other one is, like, to her side, but, like, balling up, but, like, releasing, balling up, releasing, balling up, releasing, balling up. She does look a little bit tenser than she normally would. You haven't really told her exactly what you saw in Astoria when you were there a few hours ago. So it's kind of up in the air. She's also kind of, like, worried about that because she doesn't want you to think any different of her because, again, she doesn't know what exactly you saw. She is obviously stressed out about River. She does see River as one of her best friends because she was in Astoria with her. She does feel for this girl like she is her sister. I'm going to, as the DM now, I am going to take back what James said toward the beginning of this campaign, where he was just like, oh, well, Shade just wanted to, like, make out with River because she's bi. And it's like, no, that wasn't the reason. That wasn't the reason Shade wanted to have River in the actual, like, campaign, in the actual Revolution gang, in the actual warehouse gang. She wanted River because she saw River and was like, that's my old friend, I miss her to death and I want her to be safe. And right now it doesn't seem like she's in a safe situation. And over the past few weeks since you guys have been, it's like been almost 2 months that you guys have been fully awake. You've been starting to see how River being gone is taking more of a toll on Shade than you originally thought it would.
I'm going to walk up to Shade and just kind of, like, pull her to the side and be like, I know I haven't told you a lot about what I saw, but are you in a place where I can tell you that?
She's just like, yeah, I'm fine. Being in the underground thing, in the underground bunker with all of the testing equipment got to me a little bit more than I thought it would.
Understandable.
And it just sort of brought me back to a place where Astoria really just screwed with me, and I try to keep and try to block that, like, a part of my life out, but sometimes it's really hard to when I'm literally put right back into the situation. So I'm sorry I acted like that.
Too. No, you're good. I think that's on me because I shouldn't have brought you in the first place, to be honest. But
I'm happy you did, even though it kind of screwed me up a little bit. I'm happy that you did bring me there because this is really important to me.
I give her a very tight hug.
Oh, yeah, she hugs you back.
And then I start explaining everything that I saw. And then when I'm done, I tell her, look, I understand if you don't want to come, like if you're not feeling in a place where you want to fight or anything like that. I don't want to force you to do something you don't want to do.
Do we know exactly what we're going into, or are we just looking at these things called horror mutants and we don't really know exactly what that entails?
I'm going in assuming that I'm going to lose at least one testicle, so.
Oh, okay.
You remember I was shot in the balls. I just, at this point.
Yeah. I'd rather you not. I'd rather
me too.
that not happen. Yeah, so, I think I'm fine with going. If you really want me to go, I think I'm completely fine with that.
Okay.
But if you'd rather me stay back and look at comms, in case you would rather have Data go because you need a healer, because right now you're trying to save said healer. Because if all of us go, none of us are going to be able to look at comms and warn anybody about anything.
How about we see who's staying behind and then make the decision from there?
Okay. I do think the ultimate decision is on you guys, because though I have known River since she was a child, there was a big gap there in between, and we still need to get to know each other better again, which is fine. That's normal for friendships. I'm not sure how much she's going to trust me when she comes back, because I didn't immediately say, hey, I knew you when you were a kid when I saw her. But I did really think that when she saw Hood that everything would come back, but it didn't. And I actually was concerned about it, but I wasn't going to voice it.
Yeah, years of repressed memories and trauma will do that to you.
Yeah, but I don't think it was repressed memories and trauma. I think something actually happened to her memories.
Possibly.
I mean, look at Hood, and Hood's still face down. Hood's face down on the floor still, and she just goes, "No," but I'm pretty sure Astoria fucked with him a little bit too.
I say just loud enough that Hood can hear. Yeah, but Hood's an idiot. So
Hood on the floor, muffled, goes, "Shut the fuck up, Doolittle."
And I lean over to Oswald and I go, God, he turned into such a bitch baby.
That's what happens when you get into Hollywood.
Shame.
At that moment, you see, because I would remember what Hood's favorite snack is, right?
It's bacon.
Bacon, yeah. My guy, bacon.
At that moment, you see like a small dimensional rift open up above Hood, and you just see like a plate full of bacon fall out and land in front of him.
Oh, and he looks up, he smells it, and he goes, actually, I haven't had this in a while. There's a thing on set about like keeping in shape and like this weight thing. No one seems to be listening to me when I say if I move around. I make
sure the plate falls on his face.
Oh, well, no, that's fine. He's still talking.
Okay.
He's just like, they have this whole thing of like, I'm not allowed to eat what I want. And I just find that to be kind of bullshit, but that's fine. This is fine. And he just like starts munching on the bacon very quietly. And the way he's munching on it is just face first because he's still tied up. And Rodney just goes, okay, if I untie you, you're not allowed to leave. And Hood goes, oh, okay, dude. Okay, I won't leave. I'll help save River. But, like, I really need to get back there, and it's not for the reason that you think it is. And he goes, yeah, I know. You need to go play with a pretty actress and actor. And he goes, no, you don't understand what this is. I just got roped into this, and I'm just, like, here. I'm here for the ride, dude. He goes, all right, okay. Shh, you're fine. And he like slowly starts undoing like his military knots and everything so Hood can actually like use his limbs again. Yeah.
Nobody's going to comment on the dimensional rift.
What dimensional rift?
The dimensional rift that opened above Hood to give him the bacon.
No. Why would anyone fucking comment on that?
That's fair. I mean, up until that point, I had pulled snacks out of my pocket. So
No, we're not discussing anything to do with your snacks or snack dimensional rift. It's going to be a silent thing that no one's going to discuss or talk about.
I like to call it a pocket snack mention.
So yeah, so Hood's like munching on the bacon now that he has full access of his limbs, and he just like looks over at Remi and he just like does the sup motion.
I ignore him. I just do like the typical, like, like tween movie, like the just still look at him. Little annoying little twat.
And he goes, "Hey Remi, I missed you."
And I look at Oswald and I'm just like, I'm sorry, is there like a bug in here or something that's buzzing around?
Remi, are you seriously pissed at me about something?
Oh, there it is again. God. Zach, is the electricity up in this place up to code? I know y'all have been messing with it and everything, but is it up to code?
He like looks at you and then looks at Hood, then looks at you and then looks at Hood, and he just goes, "Oh, there's drama here, isn't there?"
You can't see me because we don't use cameras, but I'm doing the narrow chicken eyes on the screen.
Zach's like, "Well, to answer your question, no, we only fuck around with electricity in the garage. We don't do it in here because big computers we don't want to zap because those are important." But
I feel like at that moment I just like feel Data's gaze on me, and I'm like, oh, it's not like I wanted to self-destruct your computer.
And he goes, "Oh no, Oswald. You have been wonderful to the computers since you have been here. And I deeply, deeply appreciate it. Thank you so much. Zach, however, if he also touches my computers, they will also go boom, and I will have a heart attack." So he looks over at Zach and goes, "No." Zach like puts his hands up in like a guarded motion. He's like, "Okay, I'm not gonna touch them." So, just so we're clear, we're bringing me, Zach points to himself, we're bringing those two idiots, points to Hood and Rodney, and Hood, like, Rodney looks over at Zach, who's just like very upset with him, and Zach again is just like, "What are you gonna do?" And he goes, "And are we bringing Shade and Data? Or are we not bringing Shade and Data? Are we bringing Celeste? Because this is ultimately up to you guys, because she is ultimately your other team member. It's not up to us."
I don't know. Do you want to talk about it as players?
Yes, please.
Yeah, you can talk about it as players.
Okay.
So, those who are listening, just imagine we're using our character voices to decide this whole thing.
I don't know. Like, part of me doesn't want to bring Shade because, like, Oswald saw what the other place did to her.
Yeah.
So
She's got, like, I don't think she's going to be 100%.
No. But then again, Data was also tested on, even if he is a bit stronger now. It's like, we're not going to have 100% of either of the people that we bring.
I'm going to be very honest with the fight that you guys are coming into. No one is going to be 100%. You're just going to have to find the person that is like at least C or B level.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Like, we
I don't know.
that
I'm
it's
leaning
not
towards Data.
I'm leaning more towards Data than anybody else, because when we do need a healer, because if something were to go wrong, because these guys are super pumped, Data can easily heal us, like literally like that. It's not going to be that big of a deal. If we bring Shade, we can be more. She can be sneaky and do like reconnaissance, but she's not going to be in the right head, like frame of mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, keep in mind she could. Just because I'm trying to give you guys an update, just because like I'm the one that literally just listened to this episode like last night, and I'm getting into the other episode with Skaggy like tomorrow. This is the situation that your characters personally don't know what they're going into, but this is me as a DM telling you this is what I am preparing you for ultimately. So what your characters do know, there is at least 15 of these souped up horror mutants. And out of these souped up horror mutants, you don't really know that much about them other than the fact that they are a weird hybrid between the normal mutants and then the monster mutants. So that could pretty much entail anything. That could entail cannibalistic abilities. That could entail humanoid traits. That could entail otherworldly powers that aren't that known. That could entail open mutant oddities. You guys don't fully understand or know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind when building this team. So right now, Hood is definitely going. Rodney is definitely going. I'm going to tell you right now, those two are going to split up as a team. And that's just how that's going to be, because because Rodney does not trust Hood not to just run away. Because Rodney, whether he seems it or not, is actually very upset with Hood right now.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why.
God, it's so unknown.
Zach is not going to team up with anybody. Zach is planning on going in it pretty much alone, going to look for things that he needs to, and whoever else you bring needs to like be able to help you with some sort of situation with what I'm going to bring you in. Now, when you guys come in, there is a good chance when you find Avery and River that Avery can turn on the cameras again and have somebody else watch about what's going on and give you a play-by-play on what could happen or what is happening outside the rooms that you are in.
Yeah.
So this is me telling you, probably don't bring everybody, because you're going to need other help from the inside. The moment that Avery turns on all of the cameras again, she can make it so, personally, that Astoria cannot see what's going on and immediately just bring the footage back to your area. She is that strong enough to do that.
I don't know. I would say just bring Data, because, I mean, it doesn't seem like we're going to need stealth too much.
All right, so you guys want Data added to the party of Hood, Rodney, Zach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
because we can have Celeste, Shade, and the Professor be backup.
Uh-huh. So,
like, they can, like, if they wanted to come, they can, but they can be, like, on the outside doing, like, surveillance, or, like, you know, like how you were saying, how, like, they can find an office and just stay in the office and watch the cameras. You know what I mean?
Would you want somebody to be on the outside watching the outside of the building if you want to have someone as surveillance, or do you want them just to be sitting around and kind of try and get the cameras back up?
I think so. Celeste and who was the other one staying back?
It's Celeste, Shade, and the Professor right now.
Okay, so Celeste and the Professor. What if those two stayed back to deal with the cameras, whereas Shade did come along, but she stayed in the car as like a getaway driver sort of thing.
Okay. Do you want to do that?
Elena?
Yeah, that sounds good. Because, like, I'm trying to find out the best way for Shade to feel like she's involved, but without involving her. You know what I mean? Because she's gonna feel awful that she's not involved because she obviously wants to be there forever. But if we bring her there, she's gonna feel awful because she's gonna have all this traumatic shit come up. And I'm trying to find a good middle ground.
Yeah, so getaway driver seems like the best plan at the moment.
Yeah, plus she's like second baby driver, so like that helps.
Yeah. Okay, so you have one more thing that you guys need to talk about, because I assume you guys are going to pick out weapons before you go. There is
I have a grenade launcher.
No.
That's offensive.
No, I wish that we had a grenade launcher. I'm sorry, Oswald. We don't need a grenade launcher. You're a grenade launcher. Yeah, a grenade launcher. You are the grenade launcher because you
it's
can.
It's a grenade launcher,
people.
but with a top hat and monocle.
A grenade.
Grenade.
It's a grenade launcher. Oh.
I love you, fucks. Yeah, so you do have one more problem to deal with, and you guys can choose weapons in a bit. But you do have a Warren still in your basement.
We do!
Can we just, we could just kill him, right?
No.
He probably has information.
Yeah, I was about to say, he probably's got information.
Honestly, so Oswald's gonna remember Warren exists, and he's gonna look at Remi and be like, I feel like no one can torture the kid as much as you can for information, and just in general, have fun. I'm gonna stay out of that one. So.
Oh, Remi just gets a glint in her eye. And you're just like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. And she's like, well, if you want me to, do some interrogation, I can.
I'm gonna say yes and stay out of it. Then I look at everybody else and try and confirm if they're gonna do the same.
Everyone just sort of looks up and then looks right back down to what they were doing before.
Yeah, so I use that as confirmation, and I'm like, yeah, go nuts. Do what you need to do.
All right. I begin to excitedly, hop and skip.
Before you switch over to that, before you switch over to whatever sadistic shit she's about to do, can I look at Shade and be like, all right, so you can come, but you're gonna be the getaway driver. How does that sound?
She's like, okay, all right. We'll be on comms, so I'll be able to be outside and watch if there's anything coming in from the outside. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that could work.
Do you need anything before we leave? Anything comforting, anything like that?
I'm pretty comforted by you all the time, but thank you.
Absolutely fair. And then I give her a little kiss on the forehead.
Oh, she likes that. She turns a little pink, but then sort of cuddles into you a little bit. She likes that.
I kind of teasingly say, "Oh, we're showing emotion now, huh?"
She goes, "Fuck you, you're a cunt," and then just continues to cuddle you. So let's go into this shit show, my love.
What a babe. Oh my gosh. You can't have me like thinking cute thoughts as I'm going in to like torture my ex.
Warren was cheating on Remi the entire time with Gina and then decided to marry her.
Fuck, Allie!
There we go. She's back. I did it.
I'm just stewing now.
So, as the camera like follows Remi, you see her just like peppily, just like doing like cute little like fun things going downstairs.
Tell me Warren like hears the skipping and is like,
oh no, he definitely
no,
he hears the skipping. Warren right now is sort of like handcuffed to a radiator that's downstairs.
Oh my god. Have we given him food?
Yeah, so
I was about to say, is he dead, Allie?
No,
we forget to feed him?
Sean has been going down periodically. Sean has been going down periodically and like feeding him. So he has been given
Sean
food.
The intern.
I'm not gonna say it doesn't smell down there because it definitely does.
Yeah, he definitely has a pissing corner and a shitting corner.
Oh yeah, no, it's not kosher down there. It's not very clean. It's not very hygienic. You can tell he's just been there sort of waiting for one of you to just come off him. So, as there's like a cute little Remi just like skipping her way downstairs to torture her ex. Actually, I feel like this dice is too big for him. He's getting one of them.
She's like humming to herself, like. And it's just like totally enjoying herself.
So, so he is strapped to a radiator and he looks down. He looks up to see you coming in and he goes, "Hey, Remi." He's like a little bit more gravelly.
Can I say something though?
Yeah.
Can I? Because I think this might work.
Okay.
Can I say that I shapeshifted into Gina?
Sure, but give me a deception check real fast to see how well of a job you do.
Okay, deception is a +6. I'm gonna roll the titty dice.
Titty dice!
Yeah.
You bless them!
No, the titty dice you gave me.
My titty dice!
Mm-hmm. That is a 19 on the die +6, so that is a 25.
I'm just saying my blessings work.
So I imagine the illusion is very good.
Yes, you did a very good job. You got her down to a T. If you took off your pants, you would find the cute mole that's on her butt. Like, that is how well of a job you did.
Fun fact, I have a mole on my butt.
Fun fact, I also have a mole on my butt. Twins!
Fun fact, I have a butt.
I was about to say, oh, we're triplets. And Kylie's, no.
No, I just have a butt.
Okay. Okay, so what does he say? What does he do? How is he feeling?
So he looks at you and is immediately just shocked because he was expecting it to be Remi, and it's not Remi. It's not Remi at all.
Didn't I kill Gina?
Yeah, that's why he's confused.
Yeah,
Yes, that's why he's. And he goes, Gina, you died. Is this a ghost? Oh my god, do we have ghosts now? Shit!
And then, as I walk into the light and he sees me, he sees that it's Zombie Gina!
Zom
Gina.
I'm sorry, you did what?
I want it to look like that she's dead. I want to be a dead-looking Gina.
So he immediately starts freaking out. He is not okay with the situation. And he's just like, oh my god, what has the radiation done? Oh my god, are you going to kill me? Or are you going to eat my brains?
I
continue
skipping.
Oh God!
And I continue
skipping
doing.
zombie.
I continue humming.
So what do you want?
And then I get really down close to his face, and he can smell my lovely zombie breath and all that fun stuff. And meanwhile, Remi on the inside is thinking, gross, 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 ew, 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 because everything somehow squishes when you're a zombie.
Yeah.
Then she leans down really close, and she's like, Warren, in her, obviously, her best Gina voice. So she's like, Warren, I can't go to rest peacefully until I know. And it's obviously he needs to respond afterwards, because it looks like she's in so much pain. And she's like,
yeah, he's shaking. He goes, what do you, no, Gina, you died with my family heirloom ring. What else could you want?
I need to know. And then she switches into her Remi voice. Why you were such a fucking ass? And then kicks him in the dick.
It was
not in the balls.
Straight on dick.
So
didn't aim for the balls. Strictly hit dick.
Can you roll me a fighting real fast?
Mm-hmm.
A fighting for dick kick.
Fighting for a dick kick.
Did you roll the titty dice again?
I rolled titty dice again. It is both gracious and kind. But also, it just rolled me a 2. So I got a 7 total.
Okay.
So I imagine I kick him, but he's dealt so much pain to his dick region that it's just nothing to him now.
Then he also kind of flinched away right at the right moment where he was just like, oh god, because he saw what was happening. So yeah, he just goes, Remi?
And then she I don't know, what would it look like as she's shifting from
I would say
her form?
I feel like it kind of almost melts away, kind of like her water. So it kind of looks like a water thing. Because I like intermixing the powers. I think that would make it a little bit more interesting.
I was thinking because I was trying to think of what it would look like, because there's not a whole lot of shapeshifters, and the only one is Mystique, and you just see her, it's almost like scales flipping when she shifts.
Yeah. I'd like to think that yours is literally almost looking like water dripping off of you.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting out of a pool or something, and then there's just a puddle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So it's I'm like a shake. I'm a snake shedding my skin.
Yeah. So he looks at you and goes, Remi, what the fuck was that?
I don't know. You tell me. What the fuck was that out there with Gina?
He goes, Remi, that was almost 2 weeks ago.
I just remembered we still had you.
You forgot about me?
Yeah, you're kind of forgettable.
Oh, well, I have a question before, you kill me, because I'm assuming that's why you're down here.
Maybe not. Depends upon how much you entertain me.
Alright, what's with that hood guy?
I'm sorry, I have no idea who you're talking about.
No,
There's no one
but
here.
Here's the thing. When I first met your friends, I'm in a lot of pain now, by the way. I need to have some answers, and you have the answers for me.
Oh, well, hold on. If I'm answering some questions of yours, you need to answer some questions of mine.
I assumed
that's how this works.
I assumed that's why you were here.
That's how this works, Cupcake. You don't get nothing for free.
I wasn't... Remi, what questions do you have for me? I will answer them.
I have so many questions. Can I answer all my questions first, and then I'll answer your questions?
Sure. Do what you want.
Perfect.
I'm strapped to a radiator.
Oh, that's good. Can I also... so, first question, can I kick you in the dick?
I feel like you've done that plenty of times. And if you kick me in the dick, I'm not going to be able to answer any of your questions because I'm going to be in pain.
I just rolled a 19 to kick him in the dick again.
Well,
19 on the die. It's either a 2 or a 2 or a 19 today, baby.
Okay, so he has a -3 to toughness? I did that to him, didn't I?
Wow. Not only is he socially a wimp, but he also can't take a hit.
It's that fragile masculinity
So he got a 9, so now he's up to like 3 injuries.
Perfect.
Because he was never healed. If anything, he was more malnourished.
Man, I just love what you did with the place down here. And then she like sniffs and she's like, what's that, rhododendrons?
And he just like is not saying anything. He's just looking up at you saying, Remi, what do you want from me? I can't answer any of your questions if you're just going to hit me.
Well, I guess first and foremost, what the fuck?
What
the audacity.
The audacity. I heard that. I heard the audio program is actually having a lot of glitches right now. I don't recommend it.
Harry Potter and the audacity of this bitch.
What? Oh. And you were talking about Audacity, the audio program. I was like, what? I was like, I'm so confused.
Yeah, so he just sort of looks at you when you say the audacity and he goes, of what, Remi? Are you really that surprised?
Kinda.
Remi, I feel like I gave you all the flags for you to know, hey, I'm probably not that great for you.
Well, I mean, I guess the first flag, and I look at him dead in the face, like this is like the vicious mockery of a bard coming out here. I guess the first flag was, your dick's small.
Wow.
If you had such a bad time with me, why the fuck did you even stay with me, Remi? You could have gotten out of the relationship. I've heard what you said about me to your friends. You said that I was perfect. You said that I was great. You said that I was amazing and that we were going to get married. I gave you that stupid 100 credit promise ring. It wasn't even real, Remi. It was all fake.
And Remi just goes like, well, then again, I guess only someone as flat-chested and flat-booty bitched as Gina would ever go to a dude who has a micro-penis.
Yeah, but at least Gina was the mayor's daughter.
You can tell yourself that.
No, she was.
You can tell yourself that.
I met her. I went to dinner with all of them.
You can tell yourself.
Remi, as soon as you were shown on the television with your stupid little water powers, it was over. You've gone absolutely haywire crazy. You were hanging out with people in the lower district. You were the one that changed, Remi. Your actual person had changed. You were not the Remi that I originally liked to be around, the one that loved the attention, the one that needed to be around people all the time because mommy and daddy were never around, Remi.
Okay, and then as soon as he says that, there's pipes down here, aren't there?
Yeah.
Okay, so with...
Now, I want you to keep in mind, because I know what you're about to do.
I know that he's goading me, but I want him...
No, I'm saying all of this water that's in the piping for this entire house is all the water that these motherfuckers have that live here. All 150 of these mutants that are in this manor. So if you do what I think you were about to do out of anger, you are basically making a whole bunch of mutants stranded with no water and no amenities.
Okay, then fine. I'm going to reverse my plan and just make it 10 times worse for you, Allie.
That's fine. I just didn't want you to kill all the NPCs in here.
I pick up his pee. I water whip his pee to fasten almost like shaping the water around his mouth So it's not like drowning him, but it's almost like putting like a muzzle on a dog. But it's with his pee.
You said that was going to be worse for me.
Yeah.
I think that's funny.
Well, it's worse for you because you have to be in the mindset of Warren right now.
I'm in the mindset of my abusive ex from high school, and so this is funny to me. So you made it so he can't talk anymore, yeah?
Yeah, essentially, like, just cutting him off.
Yeah, okay, so when you do that, his face just turns like this green color because he can obviously taste his own urine. And he just is looking at you and he has like tears starting to well up in his eyes because that's yucky. And so, you can say whatever you want.
So I bend down to his level, which it's like looking at him, like Remi like just feels like pity, but also she's like super angry. But like she feels so much pity because this dude is like one of the most prominent families in all of Eden, and he's reduced to essentially like a Dobby. Like that's like the vibe I'm getting right now. And so she like looks at him and like holds like his face like with like the thumb and the pincher finger and like holds it like that, you know what I mean? Like in that kind of way. And she just goes, "Isn't this pathetic and sad? Who would have thought that ye of so high stature would be subjected to drinking your own pee? Now this is gonna go one of two ways. Either you cut the shit, or I can have you drown on your own pee and no one's gonna bat an eye. Because everyone up there doesn't fucking give a shit about you. And we all forgot. The only person actually who's remembering you is Sean the intern. And do you know how often we think about Sean the intern? About 1% more than we think about you. So, do you want to be a good little boy and have me take this pee off of your mouth?"
And he just sort of, with teary eyes, just shakes yes.
Okay, and then she like whips it back over to the corner. in a splashy puddle.
And he like spits and he like coughs a little bit and he goes, "What do you want from me, Remi?"
"I need information."
"What information do you want?"
What kind of information do I want?
"Why did you come down here not prepared?"
Because I wasn't prepared to come down and see Warren today.
That was stupid of you. I needed you to figure this out with him.
Well, I guess why, for me, essentially, like, what to expect from Astoria's facility if he wouldn't even know that information. Probably, like, if there's, like, any passwords that he knows of, any clearances. Like, does he have a badge? Because we can easily use his badge.
Yeah, so let me
ask this in Remi's point of view.
Okay.
Because we're role playing. I look at him and I go, "Am I going to need any form of clearances to get into this building?"
And he doesn't know what building you're talking about, remember? So he's just like, which one?
What building? Oh, there it is. Building 13-9.
13-9. Oh god, that one's the creepy one.
Yeah.
That one's a spooky. No, without any clearances, you should be fine because literally no one goes there. However, whenever a lockdown does happen, there are a variety of safety measures that go through everything, so I'm not really sure the situation.
So when it goes into lockdown, it needs clearances, but there's no specific clearance to get in.
Yeah. So, it's not really a clearance to get in when it's a lockdown. So what, basically, I'm going to guess you're probably asking me this because there might be... So, actually, let's do an intelligence check real fast with this boy. Okay, so I'm guessing, because you're asking me this, that, you found your friend. Congratulations. crowd. From what I can tell with building in Sector 13-9 is that there's no clearances to get in when it's not under lockdown. It's a pretty clear in and out sort of situation. However, if they are in lockdown, literally it's what it means. The only thing is everything gets locked on the outside, but on the inside everything unlocks. So if there are any things in those cells, if there are any different, I don't know, creatures, they are unlocked and probably out of their cells. When it comes to overriding that, the only way that I could think of doing it is maybe going into the secret tunnels, but those are around back more toward the forest to get into. And you would need something to override it electricity-wise, or there's a password. And if I knew the password, Remi, I would give it to you, but I personally do not have it. Now, from what I saw, one of your creepy little friends up there does have electricity powers, and that has a good 85% chance of working.
Okay. Me casually thinking out into the ether, if Oswald/Kyle had any questions that he told Remi before, what would they might be?
I got nothing.
Okay, so yeah, I guess that's the only piece of information that we really needed to know, right?
Yeah,
because he gave us a lot for only one question.
That's he's not fucking around with you guys at this point. He's tired. He's tired. He's hungry. He smells like piss and shit. He hasn't had a shower in almost 3 weeks. He's still very beat up from when you guys did, in fact, beat him up. His balls keep getting hit. So he's just done.
One of his testicles just popped off.
He's done physically and mentally.
Okay. So I guess that's it. So then she looks at him and she's like, now aren't you a doll? Well, I guess we're done here. And then starts walking away.
And he goes, wait, Remi, are you going to let me go? Remi!
I'm so surprised she's not wait, you said that we had a deal. You are going to answer some of my questions.
Remi, before you fully leave, he goes, Remi, do you want to know where Izzy is? Hey, you there, listener. This is Allie, from that podcast that you're listening to right now. Well, if you're listening to us, you must be really into or interested in tabletop role-playing games. Well, from the makers and publishers of games like Mutants and Masterminds, that's the one that we play, Blue Rose, Dragon Age RPG, Fantasy Age RPG, and many more, Green Ronin Publishing and Dice Drop Evolution would like to give back to you all. So stock up and pick up some new games at greenronin.com and use the code DICEDROP at checkout to help save you some money. Again, that is greenronin.com and the code is DICEDROP at checkout. Have fun, friends.
Hey Dice Drop fans, I am Emil from Double DM and also Ellie's online brother. No, we are not related by blood. The Double DM podcast is a discussion podcast where I and my co-host Niels discuss critical questions and give advice for DMs of all skill levels. Our discussions are themed to one singular topic every week and are around 1 hour in length while keeping the deep diving discussions alive. We have episodes on topics like music or battle map design, or more in-game topics like plot twists and death. You can find us on all big podcasting platforms under Double DM or on Twitter at DoubleDMPod.
Shit. Oh no. And she like stops on the stairs. Oh. Ooh. You have the next 30 seconds to either say something really good out of your mouth before I put the P back on it.
So he like looks at you in your eyes and he goes, "She's safe. She got out. She was evacuated with everybody else. I want you to know, because I know what you're thinking, Remi. She was the only one." If you want to go into that further, you can.
Can I do an insight check to see what he means by she was the only one?
Yeah.
Okay. What is my insight? I haven't rolled insight in forever. I probably won't get much because I rolled a 9, so a 9 plus 5, 14.
Yeah, so it's a little bit fuzzy, so if you want to have him elaborate, you totally can, but he just looks at you again and goes, "She was the only one."
So what I mean by this, what Remi's going to assume is that she was the only one that was like, no, we can't betray our friends like this. So she's like, "Thank you, and for that I bestow upon thee a gift," and then I flick the P back onto his mouth.
You hear him. Are you doing it to kill him, or are you just doing it to be annoying?
Just to do it to make him, like, literally hate his life.
Okay, alright. So that scene played out then. And you guys, do you see a Remi? I don't know what your, like, actual mannerisms are right now. If you're, like, angry, if you're content, if you're, like, excited because you got this information.
She seems like when she was, like, going into, like, the whole, like, planning prep mode, like, she seems, like, calculated.
Okay.
She's a tad bit annoyed, but also relieved. But, like, the annoyance is gonna go easily. But she's very calculated right now. Like, she's thinking. She's planning.
Okay. So, when you see Remi come back, Remi, do you want to say the information that you now have of how to get in to save your girl?
Yeah. So then I get back into... Is everyone in the room?
Yeah, so it was just really, it's right now, Celeste and the professor planning by the computer to try and kind of, like, figure out the camera situation. It's, Shade planning a map on how to get there and back, and it's Zach, Hood, and Rodney that are weirdly, like, together, and they're obviously, like, planning something. They got some form of blueprints of the actual place itself. So they're, like, figuring it out, like, where exactly maybe things are, because they're blueprints, but they aren't, like, super, super detailed blueprints. They're like, there's this many floors, and there's this floor, and this floor, and this floor, and this floor. Like, it's not going to be like, River's here!
Yeah. So, I guess I come in and I say, "So, have you found the secret tunnel yet?"
And as soon as you say that, fucking Zach looks up and goes, "There's a motherfucking secret tunnel."
Yeah, there's a secret tunnel. Wasn't there a song about that once?
Very, very lightly next to fucking Zach, you just hear Hood go, "Secret tunnel."
Oh, I was hoping it
And
was
then
going
on
to
the
be
other
Dana.
side of the room,
I was so hoping it was going to be Dana because he's such a little fucking babe.
on the other side of the room, you hear Oswald. Oswald didn't hear Hood do that. But you hear Oswald go, secret tunnel.
Somewhere an intern goes, through the mountains.
And then Data chimes in with, secret tunnel.
So after that cute little thing happened,
oh, that's so cute. So yeah, I go and I point on the map and be like, yeah, Warren mentioned something about, and then where like the facility is, and then pointing out to, he said behind, right? He said out behind the facility a few miles in the woods.
Yeah, it's a few meters beyond the trees.
Okay, so she's like pointing, it's like it's somewhere over in here. It needs either a password, which I doubt we're ever gonna get, but or it could use electricity, and that has an 85% chance. And I do like a finger gun motion over to Zach, and I'm like, and that's all you.
Zach immediately finger guns back and he goes, yeah, it is.
And then he also mentioned that we only really have one shot to avoid lockdown. Because if it goes into lockdown, anything that's inside can't get out, and anything that's outside can't get in.
Okay, do we know... How do we know it's not already on lockdown?
Well, I guess we'll find out when we get there.
That's fair, actually. All right. So, the night goes on, and you guys like finish doing some extra planning work. If while we're in the actual thing, you say, "Hey, can have this happen while we were planning," I'll just say, "Yeah, sure," because it seems like a lot. And and so the next morning opens. A lot of you guys didn't sleep all that great. Where you did sleep, it was probably maybe 3 to 4 hours on the couch.
I slept in a bed.
You found your bed. And so everyone's starting to gear up, getting ready for the mission.
Mm-hmm.
What, do you guys have anything extra that you want to bring with you?
Obviously, I have my water canteen.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything of Rivers that's here?
So, there's like, you don't know exactly. Well, okay.
Because she set herself up in my room. Like, is there anything of like hers that I would like know for a fact that she would like want?
So,
I know. Okay, so like in my like, I guess like we have like little like backpacks or whatever that we're gonna be taking. I fold up her baby blanket and I put it inside. I fold up her little baby blanket and I put it inside.
One day you were just like, this is a rack.
So I like very gently like fold it up, and then I put like some clothes of hers on top of it or something, because I don't know what state she's gonna be in. I like put that like on top, and then I like make sure that like it is like so well protected. But yeah, I take her baby blanket with me.
That's really nice, actually. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, cool. I was like thinking like, what's something that I know that she's gonna like need as like a comfort item, because I feel like she's gonna be in a state. And then I was like, oh, we still have her baby blanket.
Yeah, so yeah, you can get all of that together. Do you want anything weapons wise, either of you?
Are there any like better looking sledgehammers or hammers around?
You can check the garden shed.
You can also go into the garage and ask some of the boys.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I think Remi is gonna go into like full like Black Widow mode and have like, you know, like those cool like little strappies that you like wear on your like legs to like hold weapons. But she's only gonna bring like, I guess like 2 knives with her in case she needs it, and that's like it.
So Oswald, you want to go into the garage to look for like different hammers and shit?
Yeah, just something I can use as like a weapon other than my hands.
So, if you go in there and ask, hey, do you guys have any, like, big hammers? They show you a variety of them. One kind of looks like a smaller version of Thor's hammer, and the other one kind of has, this... It has, like, the handle of a hammer, and it has, like, the normal, like, hammer look to it, but it has, like, this little button on the side, and someone, like, pushes it for you, and you can see the metal heat up.
Ooh.
And that's, like, a little bit bigger than the normal hammer. The one that looks a little bit like Thor's hammer, that's a little bit smaller, is... I put in my notes as Zappy hammer, but it's an electricity hammer, essentially. So, like, they can use it to basically restart cars if they aren't, like, starting correctly, just as a quicker method than to clip things on and zap it. They literally just touch it to the engine and it goes zzz, and then the car's like, vroom.
Fair enough. I'll probably... Honestly, I think I'm going to go with the one that heats up.
Okay, cool. So when you use that, you have a +3 to fighting.
Oh, good, because I needed more fighting stat.
You guys don't really understand what you're getting into, and it's a lot. It's going to be really difficult in there, and it's funny that you guys don't think that I'm not going to make it pretty difficult, but every character you face now, Oswald, they're basically going to have a, they're going to have, like, a DC and dodge of, like, 30.
That's fair.
And you also, every time you're in initiative, you basically go last, because you've already opted into that.
Right. Okay.
So, alright, so let's put that down for Oz. And do you want any weapons, Rem, or are you good with just, like, your water and your other shit?
Yeah, just my water and my knives, because I don't think we have guns here.
You do.
Oh, well then I guess I'll take, like, just like a pistol.
Okay.
And, like, extra clip.
Nice.
And,
Pistol.
like, put that on, like, my little hip thing, and I'm, like, looking, and I, like, look at myself in the mirror, and I look so much like Black Widow. It's just fascinating.
Okay, so everyone is getting ready to get into the car. Shade has prepared this vehicle to the nines for this. This is going to be about a 3.5-hour journey to get from point A to point B, because Elena was a jerk in one of my first episodes of this, and you were like, they got there in an hour? And I was just like, yeah, they got there in an hour. And you were like, no, that's bullshit. And I said, okay, so now it's 3.5 hours to get there.
Because you said it was like 300 miles, and I'm like, to get there in an hour, we'd have to be driving like 300 miles per hour.
To make it very clear, to get from the lower district to the upper district with James varied from 45 minutes to 15 minutes every time. So...
But I still, like, would call him out on that shit.
No, you wouldn't.
I did. There were times where I'd be like, hey, James, can we please talk about the travel mechanics in this? And he'd be like, yeah, what about? And then I would be like, it doesn't work. And then he's like, okay. And then, like, would ignore me. So, yeah, no.
Oh, if you guys want to check out travel mechanics, probably go to Abyssal Brew's Campfire Homebrew. It works for pretty much any campaign in any homebrew style. Thanks, Matt.
Hashtag not an ad, hashtag ad. Hashtag we were not paid.
Love you, Matthew. Love you.
Hashtag where's my $5?
You promised me a Coke.
Hashtag we need in on your Ko-fi now, thanks.
Yeah. Hashtag give us a coffee.
So Yeah, so it takes you around. It's around a 3.5 hour ride. Everyone's basically just going through the plans again. Hood is trying to get your attention a little bit, Remi. Like, he's like poking at you a little bit, and he's just like trying to be like, hey, do you want to talk? Like, I haven't heard from you in a while. And when you did try to contact me, I didn't hear from you at all.
Are we in the same car?
Oh yeah, no, it's just a pile in. It's just like a
is
big.
It like a minivan kind of situation?
Yeah, it's a flying US.
Do we have one of those like?
It's a flying Honda Odyssey.
Do we have one of those like shitty luggage rack things on the top of it?
Oh
no,
Okay.
no, we do not.
Okay.
You're like driving down the highway, and then you see this like kind of old minivan with a luggage rack on top of it.
No,
sitting,
so
like,
it's basically a
going
Tesla
below the speed limit in
SUV.
the fast lane.
It's just a Tesla SUV, guys.
Oh god, it's a Tesla SUV. Great.
You went from one big bad to another. Don't you dare introduce Elon Musk into this universe.
Okay. So we're getting off topic.
As I assume I'm like sitting in front of him or whatever.
I would say he's behind you. Yeah.
So I imagine I turn around and I have like this look in my eye of like I'm super annoyed, and I'm like, this is not the time. Can't you see what we're about to do here? It is not the time. Turn yourself around and try to figure out and read the damn car. And I turn back around and I'm like, oh.
He's just like, we're in here for 3.5 hours. And everyone
I turn and I look at him and I go, and I was in blissful silence until you decided to open up your mouth.
Remi, can we like at least fucking talk? After this, can we talk? Can we just talk after this then, please?
I don't know, maybe, unless I haven't killed you first. And then she turns back around in her seat. I'm actually like turning around in my chair and acting like I'm talking to him. I love it. But yeah, like she like turns around and like and then like sits back and like she's annoyed, and now she's like on like the side, like the door, like with her fingers.
All right, so that happened. So after 3.5, I guess like that was like an hour in, so I'm gonna say 2.5 hours. The craft finally lands, and you land in what I can explain to look like is on the outside. It kind of looks like the asylum from American Horror Story Asylum. It's a big brick structure. Kind of has like a churchy vibe to it, but like not like super churchy because we're 200 years in the future.
Gothic cathedral.
Yeah. There's a big metal fence that's wrapped around it, but it's clearly rusted, and the front of the gate is open, and there's this really nice looking car that's just out in front. It looks like it's been there for maybe like a few hours. Like, it's very obviously hasn't been there for like too long, but it looks kind of like it kind of looks like a floating Ferrari is the best way I can explain that.
What was the name of the cathedral? The Notre Dame Cathedral is the one that burned down?
Yeah.
That's what I'm picturing, like pre-fire, obviously.
Yeah. So it kind of looks like that. It does have a little bit more of like a little bit of techie elements to it. Like it has like strip LED lights around it and everything. But
Steampunk Notre Dame.
Yes, they're very light. They're not like charged enough to like give off like a big like resounding energy. But you do notice I need one of you to give me a perception check, and I will, since Celeste isn't here, I can take her away. Data is here. We have decided
what is my perception anyway?
My perception is a +7.
Mine's a +14.
Oh, Jesus.
Oswald's overpowered.
I'm in danger.
I got a 13 +14. So 27.
So a 27.
Yes.
You got 27. Shade. And Hood and Rodney are not paying attention, so I'm just not going to do this. So perception for Zach is a 7, and he got an 18, so he didn't do too badly. And Shade is a... I need Warren to fucking go away. Go away, thank you. Shade also has a +7 to perception. Go Shade. She got 12. Alright, so all of you notice, like, as pulling up, you see Shade, like, go a little bit closer to the windshield, like she's looking, and, you see bars on the windows, like, they're there, and that was one of the indicators that the building was in lockdown.
Do we see like a faint red flashing light coming from the window, like an alarm light?
It's just like red. It's like red then purple, then red, then purple, and red and purple, and fucking Hansi is doing the sprinkler in the background. Yeah.
And then you hear out of nowhere just Hansi like faintly in the background.
You can't hear anything from outside,
like,
but
just imagine on the inside us like we like freaked out
The
for a hot
listener is
second
what
of like,
you're
oh. Yeah, like, this is a bad situation, and Avery is like, this is really bad, we need to move, and then meanwhile, you see Plaguey and Hansi just going, boots and cats, boots and cats, boots and cats, boots and cats, and just dancing to the beat.
I feel like, hold on, I need to find that GIF again, because I feel like the GIF of the Plague Doctor walking, there it is. This is exactly how Plaguey is walking through, trying to escape.
okay, well, you guys aren't really walking right now. Right now, you're trapped in Joy's
Like, I
room.
imagine, like, us rolling up is the exact time when, like, the alarms are going off.
No, that is the exact time. That is the exact time.
But, like...
Franklin is dead still in the room.
Our fun minds are thinking, like, this is exactly what Plaguey and Hansi are doing right now.
Yeah, so, the metal gate is open, so Shade is able to just fly in, and she sits right next down to that really nice looking, Ferrari looking sort of, speeder. And, she gets out, and she just goes, does anybody want to try the door?
Can I read the license plate? Can I read the license plate of the nice car?
Yeah, sure. So it's the license plate literally just says KRKN.
Kraken?
Kraken.
Yeah.
Yeah. I immediately assume that this very nice car is Astoria's car, and I take a knife and just walk around the entirety of the car and like drag it up and drag it down and just like key your car.
Yeah, so I'm telling you right now that it was not Astoria's car, but that's fine. That's
well, then it was Franklin's car.
Yeah, that's why it says Kraken on it. If you guys would have,
if you didn't do all that stuff to the car, I was gonna look at Zach and be like, "Hey, you wanna?"
Oh, he can still take it.
So, spoiler alert, because he's dead and never coming back. That wasn't actually Franklin's final form. His final form, he could actually basically grow full tentacles and get like everything. He was a Lovecraftian monster.
He was a tentacle boy.
And yet he died in like 3 seconds. So
that's because Hansi's powerful.
So yeah. So yeah, that's what you got right now. So are you guys gonna try the door?
What's the harm, right?
I don't trust that the door isn't gonna like explode when we touch it, so
Remi takes a rock and chucks it out the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand back and like kind of cover. Well, Shade's in the car, so I was gonna cover Shade, but you know,
nothing happens. You just throw a rock at the door.
I grab a stick and I walk up and I poke the door.
You're poking a door with a stick.
I grab the door handle and immediately start pulling.
It's locked. It's very locked. It's not opening.
And then in full chibi form, you see, like, in the background as, like, Oswald is probably talking with somebody else, like, all of this going on. And she's, like, yanking on the door, and then she's, like, upside down, then she's sideways, and then she's, like, doing all this stuff. But this is all, like, in the background while Oswald's talking.
So, while you're doing that, let me...
This is Chibi Remi has officially come out.
So while you're doing that, you suddenly hear... Oh no, are you here to help us? Are you here to help us? And it's coming from inside.
I knock on the door like, dun, 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 like the first part of a shave and a haircut.
Yeah. So
Oswald yells through the door. Room service.
You can hear it sounds like two voices adjacently talking, and they're like, oh my gosh, they're here to help us. We're going to get out finally. We're going to get out finally. Oh my gosh, they're here to help us. You can't get in the front door. Mean Astoria, meanie Astoria locked us away. But it's okay, we can play in the hallways now.
And then in the distance, you hear Hansa go, I hate the twins.
As Plaguey, like, actively shits himself.
Look, you can hear them. You can hear them, like, giggling throughout the entire place. You could tell it, like, they're skipping around. They're going, people are here. We have friends. We have friends, and people are here. We have friends. We have friends, and they are here.
I'm not your friends, you freak. Some random mutant says that.
I was about to say, Plaguey, pull it together!
No, that's definitely some, like, random mutant that just says it.
Along with the little girl voices that everyone's hearing, you also hear some, like, slothing around, and outside you can also hear, like, this methodical woman just giggling, and as soon as you hear this, like, yay, I'm free. You see, like, Hood and Rodney sort of, like, both get out of the car, and they sort of have this glazed over look in their eyes.
I tackle them.
And they're like, whoa, because I immediately actually snapped them out of it. They're just like, what was that? So, Zach, let's roll for Zach and see how he's doing. Okay, so Zach actually was a little bit glazed over there for a second, and then you, like, doing that, like, freaked him out of it. He was just like, how do we get in? And the little girls go, they want to get in, they want to get in to see our other friends. We have new friends here now. We have new friends. And remember, there's talking at the same time. There's two of them at the same time doing this. And they go, you have to go into the woods, friends. Only into the woods. We cannot leave, but you can come in. Please come in. We want to play.
In the interest of not derailing whatever it is you're trying to do, I'm not going to go to 30 feet and smash the door open. So
that wouldn't work anyways, so that's great.
I imagine these are like bomb doors. Like, that have, like, closed over the main door.
So you have to, Kyle, as much as you would love to do what you want to do.
I would love to do that.
So, these are the exact measures. In fact, I am going to have, because Rodney's the smart one here. It's Rodney and Data who are the smart ones here. Let me roll for both of them.
God, I feel...
They rolled the exact fucking same.
I kind of feel insulted here, chickadee.
Hun, you're good in in anything biology wise. You are good that way. Anything relating to technology and vehicles, Remy's kind of a lost cause. So if it had anything to do with medical documents, if it had anything to do with how to, like, turn something into something else, I'd been like, Remi, go for it. But babes, you are not good at technology. I love you.
Yeah, it's also a proven fact I'm not good at technology in real life.
Yeah, so don't you dare fucking go, I'm feeling a little bit insulted. Bitch, Remi would look at the door, kick it, and be like, all right, I guess we gotta leave. So
I mean, after hearing the twin, she's like, all right, so River's fine, and let's go home.
So, both Data and Rodney are like looking into the doors, and they're just like, these are high-tech Astoria military grade, like, just precautions. So the most that impact that these can take, I'm going to be very honest, if there was like a bomb to go off near Eden, this would probably be the best place to hide in. Like, that's how fucking secure it is to even try to get in or out. So, you just hear like the twinkling and the laughing and the giggling again. There's like, friends, please go to the woods. We'd love to play. We haven't played in so long. And you can hear the melodic laughing again. And let's do a thing for Rodney and Hood. Zach, Rodney, Hood. Not Data. Okay, so Zach crit. That did nothing to Zach. Zach is completely fine. Hood got a 7, so he's like glazed over a little bit. Rodney's pretty okay. So he sees like Hood glaze over again a little bit, and Rodney like slaps the back of Hood's head, and Hood's like, I'm back. And there's like, all right, so it seems like as much as I'd hate to go to the woods right now, and Rodney's looking up at the building and still hearing the little girl like laughter, it's like, I think we have to go to the woods and find that fucking tunnel. And they're like, it's in the back of the building. Go to the back of the building and go into the woods, please.
I turn to Rodney and I go, clearly it's in the back.
I look at everybody and I say, yeah, I'm gonna assume it's in the back of the building.
They're like, we'll see you soon, friends. We'll see you soon. Oh, we're so excited.
It doesn't get less creepy.
Yeah. And then they very softly go, and make sure to use, like, their excited voices kind of mellow out, and they go, and make sure to use the one with electricity powers.
What? No.
No.
And Zach, like, looks at everybody, hands on his hips, and goes, there's a good thing I fucking like River. And he, like, walks toward the back of the building. And then Rodney, like, stops when he says that. He's like, wait, what? And he's just like, shut up, let's go. He goes, no, wait, I want to talk about that. And he's just like, you were a cunt to her. And he walks off. We're not talking about this here. There's creepy girls in there. One that can obviously entrance Hood in 5 seconds.
And I turn to Oswald and I'm just like, well, that seems to be any girl with a pulse. Ayo! And hold my hand up for a fist bump.
I do the awkward thing where it's like an open palm on the fist bump.
And then I look at him and I go, that's what she said. And I walk away.
I just stare pensively off in the distance.
So, after it probably takes 45 minutes to find this, like, area, Shade stayed in the car after this entire thing. Like, Shade was like, I'm just gonna stay in the car, and when you guys are ready, I'll leave. And you guys were probably like, yeah, that's perfect, do that. So it takes you around 45 minutes. I'm going to need you all to give me a perception check, and I will make NPCs also do perception checks.
Ooh.
Oh, I guess I'll do a perception check.
Okay, Hood got a 1, so he saw nothing.
Yeah, that tracks that he would get a 1.
Actually, that doesn't, because he's the one who has, enhanced senses.
No, but given what he's been doing, it tracks.
That's true, because he's a whiny bitch baby.
Yeah, Rodney got a 16 and Zach got a 17. What did y'all get?
I got a 19 total. I rolled a 5.
I'm proud.
I got an 18 plus 7, so 25.
Okay, so it does. Remy, you were actually the first one to see it. It looks like this, like, cove thing. And okay, to make it like seem like it makes like a little bit more sense of what you're looking at, it kind of looks like the entrance to a hobbit door, but it's wider. But it's wider. Like, there isn't a door there. It just sort of is a tunnel, but you can tell it's like wider, and you guys can just easily walk through it. But you guys can like easily tell what I'm like talking about, like wise of how it kind of looks. It kind of looks like
it's
there's
a
like
hobbit
a big
hole,
hill,
but taller.
Yes, essentially, yes.
It's a hobbit hole that Gandalf can walk through.
Yes, it's a hobbit hole Gandalf can walk through, and it very obviously is a huge tunnel that can lead you into Sector 13-9.
Okay.
And about 10 minutes of walking into that, you guys come across a huge metal gate. And around the metal gate, there's like vines that go up. It's very rusted. There is like actual electricity coming off of it because it's electric. It's like it needs either someone to say, "Hey, I'm actually here to make sure everything's okay," and like that password thing, or it needs somebody who can, in fact, control electricity and not be hurt by it to just grab it and like void it.
I turn to Zacky Poo and I go, "You're up, bud."
Zach like sighs and he's just like, "Okay, all right, let me roll for Zach." All right, so he puts his hands on it, and the electricity isn't affecting him at all. In fact, it's just like sort of going into his hands, but nothing happens at first. And so like then he like pushes into it. That one fell. Ah! My dice keep falling. All right, so he pushes into it, and immediately the electricity just like stops. And that was a weird way of also him powering up, by the way. So that was like a nice little jolt of energy for him. And he steps back from it, and the gate just, you hear, and it just slowly opens. And the moment it slowly opens, you hear the melodic giggling of both Kimmy and Claudia. Okay, everybody, that is the end of the penultimate episode, going into the finale of this wonderful, wonderful arc. Now, if you haven't already, crazy, you should be following us on Twitter, because that's where you're going to be able to talk to us a lot easier. Just at dice_drop. If you are looking to help support us in any way possible, you like what we do and you want to see more of it, you can always look into donating to our coffee, or you can grab some of the merch that's there. You can also look into our merch store. All of that directly supports us. And if you didn't hear already, we are now greatly affiliated with Green Ronin Publishing, which are the makers and publishers of this lovely, lovely game that we're playing, Mutants and Masterminds. So if you're looking to maybe stock up on some Mutants and Masterminds gear, you can use our code DICEDROP at checkout. All right, and what you guys are wondering. Well, the final episode ended up being a little bit of a doozy. So, the first episode will be out Thursday, October 28th. And then the part 2 will be out Friday, October 29th. But if you just can't wait, we are going to be putting episode 1 and 2 out together at the same time on our Coffee. That's right, that thing that I asked you to donate to us before to help support us, you can just go directly there and get the episode. But if you don't feel like paying for the episode every time, you can always sign up for our membership program, which we do have on our Coffee. It would be under the Revolution tab if you are looking to get these episodes into your ears as fast as possible. But till then, I'll see most of you on Thursday the 28th. Bye, friends. Happy Halloween.
Smell my lovely zombie breath and all that fun stuff. And meanwhile, Remi on the inside is thinking, gross, 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 ew, 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 because everything somehow squishes when you're a zombie.
Yeah.
Zombie squish.
Zombie squish. And
Ugh. I'm going to leave the recording. Goodbye.
now you know how I feel when you ooh-ooh.
Yeah. Zombie-oo. Zomboo-oo.
Zomboo-oo. Zomgina ooh-oooo squish.
Oh, God.
Okay. Guys, we need to get back. We need to get back because we need to get through this episode.
Okay.
Keep that in. Please keep that in.
That's going to be at the end.